Hey guys, what is going on? So I wanted to do this video and tell you guys my 5 favorite things about my Xmax so far. So again, I don't know how many of you guys follow these little videos that I do, and I don't really do a ton of them, but if you do, you'll know that I got this Xmax maybe a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, something like that. And in those 2 months, I've put about 2,500 miles on it. And I actually learned a lot about the Xmax in my time that I've had it. I took it on some pretty long trips. I pretty much daily ride it. I'm actually headed to my campus now, and I'm just taking my scooter. There's a whole lot of smoke just coming from all of the directions. A bunch of fire trucks too. I don't know what the heck is going on. Something must be happening. But anyways, so the 5 absolutely favorite things that come to mind when I think about the Xmax. And just something to note is that these aren't the reasons why I picked up the Xmax. That's a completely different story. But yeah, so number 1 is absolutely the design of the scooter. To be quite honest, I think it's one of the best looking scooters in this class in the market, especially here in the United States, where there actually isn't a ton of options anyways. But even throughout the world, I find this to be one of the better looking scooters. And again, this is just my subjective opinion. I do like the really aggressive styling that the Yamaha went with. I know that's not everybody's slice of cake, but for me, I think the scooter looks absolutely amazing. I love the LED lights up front, and I love that third high beam light which is in between the 2 lights, even though it doesn't really do much in terms of illuminating the road, but I think it looks really cool. I like pretty much all of the angles that are on the bike. So that's by far one of my favorite features, the design. To add something to the design, and we'll keep that under the same category, the build quality. The build quality is absolutely top notch. I'm truly impressed. Now obviously the Xmax is considered to be a premium scooter in the segment, so it would only make sense that Yamaha used their best quality to put this scooter together, but you can actually tell. I've been on quite a few scooters throughout the years, or through the last 3 or 4 years, and this is by far the scooter that has been put together the best. There is absolutely pretty much everything you touch feels great. The design, again, as I've said, not just on the outside, but even this cockpit area looks really good. So overall, I am extremely satisfied with the build quality and the design. The second thing that I want to talk about is the performance. And the performance is absolutely amazing. Now, this scooter isn't your fastest 300cc scooter, and it's actually not a 300cc, it is a 292cc scooter. However, the performance is amazing. So I've actually done a speed test on this guy, and the highest top speed I personally was able to get was, I believe, 138 kphs, which is roughly about, I think, 86, 87 miles per hour. And I felt like the scooter could probably give me another 5 miles or so, but that's not the purpose. The purpose of this scooter, in my opinion, is to get you, from point A to point B, but also if you need to take it on a longer ride, you can. And I actually did. The longest that I've took this scooter on was about a 900 kilometer ride in one day, and it was absolutely stunning. Now, the engine is absolutely amazing. The power is so linear, and I absolutely love it. There is no surprises there. Some scooters in this segment, for example, my Kymco Downtown 300i, is not really as predictable as the Xmax, and I don't really like that. Especially if you're new to riding, you will not find that to be confidence inspiring. Whereas the Xmax, you know what you're going to get. The power is linear. It just feels great. And on top of that, the Xmax comes with the these, I believe it's a 15 on the front and 14-inch wheel on the back, and it handles absolutely fantastic. Oh, I don't know what the heck that was. It handles absolutely great. It actually handles like a motorcycle, which is a really high praise for a scooter. So performance is absolutely stunning, to be quite honest. The third thing that I want to mention is the ease with which you do maintenance. So the bike is extremely easy to maintain. So basically, there are about 4 or 5 things that you need to kind of worry about. You have your engine and gear oil, and the intervals are, I believe, 4,000 miles, which is awesome. For some people, that's the entire riding season. For me, I do it about twice a year because I ride for about 8 or so months out of the year. And I do put about 1,000 miles or so on the bike. So I'll do my oil change and my gear oil change twice a year, and it takes me like 5 minutes to do that. The only other things that you have to worry about is your brake fluid. You should change that every 2 years, and that's also extremely simple to do. And then the coolant, and Yamaha has made it extremely easy to do the coolant as well. So the bike is extremely reliable, and if you're just doing those simple things, the bike should last literally forever. You shouldn't have any issues with the bike whatsoever. So the ease with which you can do maintenance is absolutely on that list. And the reliability as well. I've actually talked with some people on forums and whatnot, and there's people who take these little guys, they'll put whatever 20-30,000 kilometers a year without any issues, and they'll ride them for years. So I am absolutely confident that this little guy with proper maintenance can pretty much last forever. And as I've said, the ease with which you can do maintenance is just awesome. I'm yet actually to change my brakes. I'm only at 3,500 miles, so that's something that I'll have to kind of do some research on, but I'm assuming that's a simple job, just as it is with other bikes. So number 3, the ease with which you can do maintenance. So we talked about the design, the performance, maintenance. Number 4 is going to be the technology. So this being a scooter, don't expect to have a ton of things. However, the reason why I'm mentioning technology is prior to this, I was daily riding a Kymco Downtown 300i. It's a fantastic scooter, a reliable scooter, but pretty much in terms of technology, all you get is a little display that shows some basic info like your tripometer, your odometer, time, and service intervals. On the Xmax, first of all, you get this keyless entry, so you just have to have the key fob on you, and then you use this little switch here to operate things like turn on the bike, open the seat, open the glove box, and to adjust the screen, you use this little switch on the right hand side, and it has things like your temperature, as you guys can see, battery level. It also has, in terms of technology, also has traction control and ABS, which is really awesome, and those are 2 really cool safety features, especially if the area where you'll be riding is prone to rain. It gives you your average fuel consumption. I'm averaging 75.9 miles per gallon as of right now. Your current consumption, your average speed, and then it also gives you the odometer, the tripometer, the trip time, the oil trip time, the belt trip time, and that's basically it. So pretty useful things that it gives you. But again, my favorite thing about, well, actually there's another thing that I forgot to mention. So once you actually run out of fuel, you'll have this left hand side signal that indicates your fuel start to blink. And then when you get really low on fuel, you'll actually get a fuel meter pop up, which is really cool. And I'm able actually to get about 30 miles when that fuel meter turns on, and that's really useful because you actually know how far you can go, which is really amazing. I'm really happy that Yamaha decided to do that and include that. It's really helpful actually. But as I've said, the biggest things in terms of technology are the keyless entry and the fact that the bike comes with ABS and Yamaha's traction control, which can be, again, as I've said, awesome safety features if you tend to ride in rainy conditions. So that's number 4 on my list. And then the last thing to me is just the comfort and the ease of riding this scooter. So why am I mentioning comfort? Well, as I've told you guys, I took this thing on a 900 or about 550 to, I think it was maybe even almost 600-mile journey, and that's actually when I picked up the bike. And prior to this, as I've said, I was daily riding my Kymco Downtown 300i, and within an hour or so, your behind would start to ache, your back would start to ache. There just wasn't a lot of adjustability in the seating position. On the Yamaha, me personally, I love it. Now, the Yamaha is not going to be for everybody because the seat height is a bit high. But for me, I'm right at 6 feet tall, or about 183 centimeters, 182, 183. It is absolutely perfect. So the seat is awesome. There's a lot of, you can move up forward, you can move back. You can pretty much have a perfect seating position. Another thing is that you can actually adjust the handlebars, so you can actually move them towards you, which is kind of cool. So if you have shorter arms, you can actually move the handlebars towards you. Another thing that you can adjust is the screen. You can adjust the screen, and in terms of comfort, that's actually a big deal, because if you move if you're taller and you get all this wind hitting you in the face, you can move the screen up, and then all that wind will be going all over your face, over your head. So that really helps. Yes, I think that's pretty much all that I wanted to mention in this one. So truly an amazing scooter. There's actually more things that I love about the Xmax, and I might just do maybe another video. I'm actually almost here, but again, it's an absolutely amazing machine, and I'm extremely happy that I was actually able to get this guy for an awesome price, which I still can't believe that I was able to get it for like $3,000 with 1,000 miles. It is truly amazing. I was really lucky, and I think that was maybe the only way that I could actually afford this guy, to find somebody who was just willing to get rid of it for whatever reasoning and whatnot. So yes, as I've said, the design is absolutely awesome, especially if you like sporty looking scooters. I think you would absolutely love it. The performance it's spectacular. It is absolutely amazing. And speaking of performance, the practicality in terms of or not the practicality, but the in terms of economics, this thing is extremely great on gas. So as you guys can see, I'm getting about 75 miles per gallon, and that's just because the last few days I've took the bike on the highway. I went to Milwaukee the other day, which is about 100 miles away from me, so I was on the highway going about 80 or so, and that's what I was getting. I was averaging 75. When you're in the city and you're taking it easy, you can easily get between 85 and 90 miles per gallon. In fact, the woman that I bought the bike from, her average was like 87 miles per gallon. So that's truly amazing for a 300cc scooter. Really impressive. And then as I've said, the fact that it's extremely easy to maintain and also really cheap to maintain. So you can run either full synthetic or just mineral oil, and it will cost, here in the United States, it'll cost you anywhere between like $10 to $15 to change the oil. Not really that expensive. Gear oil, it actually only takes a tiny little bit of gear oil, and that will run you maybe, I don't know, like $2-3 per each interval, and then that's basically it. In 2 years or in 3 years, when you decide to change the coolant and the brake fluid, that's gonna run you maybe between $15 and $20 each, which is really not that bad for 2-3 years of riding. And then you're all set. Spark plugs, they're pretty cheap, and getting parts is also really easy because it's a Yamaha. They have their dealers all over the place, so getting parts here in the United States to places like Revzilla, Partzilla, Boats and whatnot, it's extremely easy. Even through dealers, you're gonna be paying kind of a premium if you go through dealers, but it's gonna be really cheap. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, or if you guys want me to do maybe the 5 things that kind of annoy me about the Xmax, I might do that as well, even though there really isn't anything, and I will probably have to be nitpicking to actually come up with 9 things that I dislike about the Xmax. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Thank you guys so much, and as I've said, if you guys have any questions, you guys can just kind of leave a comment down below, and I'll be happy to answer any of the questions you guys have. Yep, that's it. See ya.